My name is Bill Haley for Haley 2024 The Movement. Now I'm talking about Haleynomics or economics, my last name Haley, and today's topic is inflation. At the end of May of 2024, I'm doing about a dozen different videos on inflation, shorter videos, longer videos. This is just one of the videos. You have to look at some other videos to get the other perspectives. But today I'm going to talk about it is a common myth that our US dollar is fiat currency and not backed up. It is fiat currency, but it is backed up. The Federal Reserve has a balance sheet of a couple $1 trillion worth of mortgage-backed securities. It has gold and other things backing it up. Now, the problem is it has about $5 trillion worth of government debt in there. And that is where a big problem comes in. Also, the Federal Reserve lends a lot of money out to the big banks, and they, in turn, lend it out there. And we have increased or dramatically increased how much outstanding loan balances are out there. And that put money into the economy directly. So I'm going to read over a few of these real quick. I just talked about the fiat currency is it is backed up. It is untrue that it is not backed up. Okay, the Federal Reserve has about 8.7 trillion. I took that from the website of the Federal Reserve. That was dated March 29th of 2023, a little bit over a year ago. I'm sure it's a lot higher than that now, but that's the latest number I could find. And I'm not a big-time economist knowing exactly how to read everything, but it did have a list of their assets. And I do know that there's assets backing things up. So the big problem is that $5.3 trillion worth of federal debt. Now let's go through it a little bit more. The U.S. dollar is backed up with a little bit of gold. That's what it used to be. That's when it was a lot more stable. And there is about $2.6 trillion in mortgages and another $0.7 trillion, which is still a lot of money, $700 billion worth of mortgage-backed securities or other loans. So I think that's $3.3 trillion over a year ago now of assets. So total reserve is like $8.7 trillion. So it's a lot of money to back it up. Unfortunately, about $5 trillion of that was debt. But let's go through this real quick. If loans and mortgages, which the Federal Reserve lent too much money to private banks, increasing the amount of money they could lend into the economy, if the loans and mortgages were steady, where people had to pay the debts monthly, it would not have a large effect on inflation because people have a certain amount of savings. And if you lend out that savings, people aren't spending that money. That money goes into buying a car. The people who built that car need to buy food today, go to the store today. And over time, that money gets paid back, pulling back out of the economy. So if you have an outstanding loan balance over all the banks, over everything, it's not that bad of a deal because you have a certain amount of savings. It has to stay in line with the level of savings. The money paying the debt cannot buy other products. So if you repay your debt, repay your mortgage monthly, that money that you're paying to the mortgage company, to the loan company, your car payments, you cannot use that to go buy other things. Thus, because if you did not have that money coming out, you would be bidding up and buying more product. But you bought your car, you bought your house, so that money has to come out. It's just math. A quick jump in total debt, overall debt, can put too much money in the economy at one time. So it has to be somewhat stable and conducive to the level of savings. While reduced spending comes over many years. So when you pay back, if you get your house today, all the people who built your house, they needed to get paid today, go to the store today. They spend that money today. I know a little bit goes into savings, no problem. But by and large, it gets spent today. And you paying your loan payment back means you're not buying as much. That $1,000 car loan or $2,000 house loan, whatever the case may be, that $2,000 or $3,000 is not being bought. You're not going to Walmart and buying new things. It's being pulled back out, which is absolutely necessary. Savings levels or spending from your savings should not jump quickly. So overall, should not jump. And in your own life, You should have a good balance. My reforms my suggestion is significantly reduce government spending. I go by 75 to 80%, if not more. I have a lot of reforms out there, and but that opens up 1,000 discussions, and I have that discussions on my website, Haley2024.org. Okay, if there's $5 trillion in government debt, it's probably more this year because this is a year ago. This is currently May of 2024. Okay, if there's $5 trillion in government debt, half of which has come over the last 3 years, in 2020, 2021, 2022 timeframe, that has a lot of extra money bidding up prices. That's why we had such a surge in inflation. And inflation should not be considered, the definition of inflation should not be considered general rise in prices of goods and services. That should not be the case. There's a lot of reasons why prices rise or fall. But that should not be one of them. Okay. It should be the increase in the money supply that is unbacked. So if it's backed, I don't really consider that inflation, even though you're increasing the money supply, but it's backed up, so it shouldn't count. It's unbacked up money being created. That's what causes inflation. There is not, okay, in the national debt, $34 trillion or whatever, there is no legitimate tax to bring that back out, to stop the people, American people, from spending money, and that's bidding up prices. When you have $34 trillion worth of debt, that money needs to be paid back. If it's not paid back, sure, we have a certain amount of savings. But if it's not paid back, people still have that money to go out to that store and buy product and take products off the shelf. So it's highly valuable to tax it away from the people. Now, don't get me wrong, I believe in the Laffer curve. I have a lot of lessons on the Laffer curve. That's why we want to take government spending down 75%. Tax rate increases have their own economic downsides. That's the Laffer curve. I have many, many videos on that about the Laffer curve. Okay, I'm making several videos in late May of 2024. I address it differently in a lot of different videos. I'm going to try to put about a dozen videos out there. Until the next video.